Hello, and welcome to the Freddie Mac Connect Go Beyond What's Possible Future of Servicing session. Audience members are in listen-only mode. This session is being recorded and will be available following the conference. If you have any technical issues, please use the Q&A box and someone will assist you. Lastly, you'll find icons at the bottom of the screen where you will find links to speaker bios and the presentation deck. With that, I will turn it over to the panel moderator, Dave Lucchino, Senior Vice President of Single Family Operations and Operational Risk with Freddie Mac. Dave, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Amani, and a warm virtual welcome to everyone joining us today. I'm excited to moderate this Connect Servicing panel for the third year in a row. In terms of our focus, we'll offer an update on mortgage servicing, we'll share ways in which we're leveraging innovation and digitization, and we'll talk about how we're achieving our mission to make home possible together. Speaking of which, the theme of this year's Connect conference is Smarter Together, and we're lucky to be joined today by some smart panelists and well-known industry leaders who will provide their expertise and insights related to how we can innovate and elevate our servicing ecosystem. With that, I'll ask our panelists to introduce themselves. Perhaps ladies first. LaQuanda?
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everyone. I'm LaQuanda Sane. I am the Executive Vice President of Servicing here at Rocket Mortgage.
Thanks for joining us, LaQuanda. Hello, Donna.
Hi, Dave. I'm Donna Spencer. I am the VP of Servicing Performance and Relationship Management here at Freddie Mac. Glad to be here.
And always nice to see you, Donna. Hello, David Little.
Hi, everyone. Great to be with you today. I'm David Little, and I have responsibility for mortgage as well as consumer servicing, as well as branch operations here at US Bank.
Thanks, David, and welcome. Bill McGuire?
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here today. I'm Bill McGuire, and I oversee the servicing portfolio for Freddie Mac. My responsibilities include servicing policy, servicing transfer management, servicing capital markets, servicing relationship management, and servicing QA. Very pleased to be here again today. Thank you.
Hey, Bill, that's a lot. Let's start with you now. You mentioned relationships. I know that you and your team talk with our servicers firsthand every day about how to leverage our reimagined servicing solutions and how to find ways to improve our collective performance. Can you give us an overview, please, from your perspective on the current state of mortgage servicing and on what our partners can look forward to in 2024?
Sure. Thanks, Dave. So 2023, right? We're coming out of, we'll call it our post-COVID environment. And I've said it before, and I said it many times. I am so proud of the way the industry came together and solved that giant hurdle that we had in front of us around COVID, helping hundreds of thousands of customers in the meantime. So as we look at 2023, in this post-COVID environment, we established a new payment deferral product earlier in the year. All of our COVID-related policies will expire November 1st, and we're working on possible changes to the FlexMod in the future. So from a policy standpoint and loss mitigation standpoint, there's a lot of work and a lot of activity going on. As it relates to performance, our Freddie Mac servicing portfolio continues to perform very well. Our serious delinquency rate is at a level it hasn't been since March of 2007. We're 55 basis points and holding steady. Certainly, we understand that there's headwinds in front of us, whether it's potential recession, continued inflation, the cost of owning mortgage and home ownership, big hurdles in front of us, and we'll tackle them in the same manner we've tackled past concerns that we've had. So from a 2023 standpoint, great servicing performance on the portfolio, new tools and technology in our reimagined servicing. Looking forward to 2024, we'll continue that journey with reimagined servicing. In 2023, we put our loss mitigation tools out there. We'll continue that with charge-offs, third-party sales, deed and lose, and other products and services on the Resolve platform. We'll continue to build out on our paid platform, our Resolve platform. So from a technology standpoint, we'll continue that journey around reimagined servicing. I think the important thing and one of the big things we'll see from an industry in 2024 is just the continued digitalization of servicing and servicing data. The ability for servicers to take our products and digitize them in such a way that they're interacting with homeowners is going to be key. So the ability to put our loss mitigation tools out on websites for consumers to self-service that and seek help and relief when they need it is going to be important. So I think the future of servicing is very bright. I think we'll continue to work together. The cost within the servicing ecosystem increased during COVID, and we need to continue to work together to take out costs when necessary, and make our systems more efficient and provide more efficiency for homeowners to connect with us.
Bill, thank you very much for your insights, especially around how we can leverage innovation to drive an impact to servicing. LaQuanda, over at Rocket, how have you been using innovation both to minimize servicing expense and to support and retain your loyal homeowners?
That is a great question. Thanks for asking. I think one of the things I want to call out that was just said earlier is about self-service. One of the things that's really important as we think about the future of servicing and our clients is ensuring that we are able to create the self-service solutions that our clients need. As we know, we have the baby boomers and we have the Generation X and millennials and Generation Y and so forth and so on. But as we continue to evolve as a United States, as a country, as a nation, it's very important for us to understand that every single generation requires something different. Now, all of you know we all have phones. So at servicers, it's our job to figure out ways to tap into education while the clients are on the go. Now, a lot of folks say borrowers or community or customers. I'm saying clients, and that's what we use here at Rocket. But it's really important for us to create innovative technology solutions that enable our clients to be able to self-serve whenever they are available. I know last year we had unfortunate Hurricane Ian, and we had to ensure that we were available 24/7. Clients weren't able to get to us during what we would call regular business hours, so we unlocked the potential for them to communicate with us when they wanted. I think something else that's really important as we think about the future of servicing and how we continue to help our clients is education. A lot of times clients don't necessarily understand every single thing that happens on a mortgage. They may not understand what PMI is and how can they remove it. They may not understand their taxes and insurance may go up. It is our job, I always say it's our duty to educate them and help them along the way so they feel trust. They feel like they can go to their mortgage servicer whenever they need, and they understand that we're here for them. And lastly, it's really about technology. We talk a lot about AI right now, and it's a hot topic, but really just using the digital platforms to really revolutionize how you work your day in and day out. That not only helps your clients and your consumers, your customers, but it also helps your team members, your employees be able to be more efficient and more scalable. So all these things to think about innovation and the future of servicing. I'm personally excited because I really think this is a lot of opportunity for us the rest of this year in 2024 to really get it right and help our clients be able to do what they want to do on their loan whenever they want, whether it's communicate with us as human or do it themselves digitally.
That's great, LaQuanda. You guys are really doing some special things at Rocket, and I love your passion for this business. David, there are so many things happening around us right now in the economy and the environment, much of which is outside of our control. As you sit, there at U.S. Bank, what's top of mind for you right now in the servicing space?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Bill and LaQuanda hit on a few of these things already, but current events always top of mind: home price affordability, inflation, another pending potential government shutdown. Those are things that we wake up every day and think about. Transforming how we service and serve our customers, definitely top of mind. We've been on a multi-year journey in the digital space to do just that. It's really an exciting time. LaQuanda mentioned the hurricane, the pandemic itself. Without digital tools that we had to create very quickly, we would not have ever been able to serve a few 100,000 borrowers with forbearances in the time frame that we needed to. I think the other thing top of mind that comes into play is just the pace of regulatory changes. I just looked at this last week, but our actual regulatory changes are up 75% this year versus where we were pre-pandemic. And not only that, but those that require system changes or letter changes, which are always top of mind for all of us, those are up well over 200% pre-pandemic. So those are just some of the things that we're thinking about every day here.
David, I couldn't agree with you more on the importance of innovation in our space. That's certainly a critical element for our reimagined servicing platform. Now, digital advancement combined with homeowner education, which a few folks have mentioned already, will better prepare us to effectively manage the next downturn. Donna, can you help us expand on that and talk about how Freddie Mac is partnering with industry stakeholders to leverage homeowner education in a much broader way?
Yes. Thank you so much, Dave. Really appreciate that. It's a great question. And, one of the things that you mentioned is passion. And I do have a lot of passion around making home possible every day for our homeowners. I get up every day thinking about how I can promote liquidity, stability, affordability, and equity into the housing market. One of the ways that we're doing that is working with partners such as LaQuanda and David. And we are listening to what's happening on the ground through the lens that they experience with our borrowers. One of the things that we heard is the need for more borrower education. Over 20 years ago, Freddie Mac developed Credit Smart, which is a suite of financial literacy tools to help people that are on the home ownership journey, as well as those that have acquired homes, to be more literate and understand more, even the things that LaQuanda was mentioning about MI and escrow and how it affects them on a daily basis. We will continue to expand those products from a post-purchase standpoint to help borrowers to be more literate, to understand the programs that we have available in the loss mitigation space as they experience hardship. One of the other things that we did, and we're continuing to foster those relationships, is we have a borrower help network that includes 14 physical locations throughout the country, as well as a virtual network of experienced HUD certified counselors to be there for borrowers in their time of need, and also support servicers as they're working with borrowers. That was created during the housing crisis back in 07, 08, and 09, and has just continued to grow over the years. We will continue to expand that network and that support as we work with our homeowners. Again, one of the other things that was mentioned is the need for additional support in terms of education, and we will continue to work with our servicers to find out what those needs are so we can expand on our tool suite. David, with that, I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks. It's funny, we have a Dave and a David. I'll be Dave for now. But David, if I could turn this back to you, do you want to jump back in and talk a bit more about some of the digital tools you're leveraging at US Bank?
Yeah, be happy to, Dave. One of the things we believe in is digital is great, but human plus digital is really what you need to optimize that experience for the customer. So we've been focused on not DIY, but also on do it together, DIT we call it. A few examples of that, we've gotten funding over a multi-year period to really work on providing advice to our customers through a series of videos. We have things such as predictive intent and another tool that we call co-browse. And co-browse is when we have a borrower on the phone and we're actually able to work with them and go along with them in the screens, whether it's on the mobile app or online banking, and walk them through how to use the digital tools that are there for their disposal. And that's been very effective in reducing the borrowers who actually do call us on a monthly basis. We've seen about a 25% reduction over a couple of years in the percentage of customers who do have to reach out via telephone and call us every month. Another great example, I think, is in the default collection space, where, historically collection work was centered around the telephone. And we've actually seen digital outreach outpace telephone in terms of right party contact and effectiveness. So, really interesting swing over the last couple of years, but, making it a better experience for all of our customers with these tools.
David, thanks very much for that. I love all the things you talk about, especially that concept of, meeting our borrower, our homeowner, where they are and the way they want to be met. I don't know if LaQuanda, might have anything else you want to jump back in and add around that.
Yeah, I absolutely love the do it together. I think that is really crucial for not only the effectiveness of assisting our clients, but also making sure our team members know that they are important and the work that they do matters. When I think about the things that we've done so many things in Rocket, but what stands out right now is really we're reimagining what our phone system looks like. You may think to yourself, really, the phone system? Yes, and the reason why we chose the phone system is because that is the means in which a lot of our clients call. I know David mentioned that he's reducing his calls. That's something that we haven't got a hold of yet, meaning our clients are still calling us and we still have repeat. It's not as high as it used to be in the past, but the reason why it's not for us, at least in Rocket, it's not really about which method you use, as long as we're available for you and can assist you. So we know today that about 8% of our clients call us every single month. Because they're calling, we used to focus on how do I stop them from calling? But then the thought process, we changed it a couple of years ago and said, you know what? It doesn't matter as long as I'm there to help. However, what if I could help you without you having to talk to a team member? So if a client has a question, we are unlocking our IVR where our IVR can assist. So you can call if you like, if that's your choice, but we have a system that can help you. So we're really transforming what our phone system looks like. Also talking about digital, we use what we call Rocket Mortgage Servicing, and it's the platform in which our clients are able to self-serve, or sometimes they want to chat with us. We also have chat. But what we're really doing now is we're making sure that our RMS is very clear. If you go on our site, you can understand what it is you're looking for. We're also utilizing our clients. We're actually doing research to ask them, what are you looking for? What is missing? How can we help? Because oftentimes we tend to think that we know best. I think we know a lot. I know a lot about servicing, but I don't necessarily know everything the client wants or needs. So it's our job, or something that we are focused on, is what I'm calling obsessed with finding a better way. How do we make it better? How do we utilize the time that we have right now and really improve the processes that are good, but we can always make them better? Back to you.
LaQuanda, thanks so much for that, once again. And, Donna, the, last couple of speakers really talked about, how that engagement model, works with our homeowners. Can you maybe talk a little bit about, how we at Freddie Mac are supporting our servicers through our Reimagined Servicing platform?
Sure, absolutely. We have been on the journey over the past 3 to 4 years, really working with our servicers to understand how we can reimagine this experience, and with the benefit of really driving down inefficiencies in the process, which makes it better for homeowners in the end. And, several of our servicers have really implemented some new tools as a result of how we're reimagining servicers that will have extremely helpful downstream impacts to homeowners, such as e-sign during the modification process and mobile notary. Again, we are a society of people that heavily reliant on our phones, very mobile, and not always sitting in a space where we can be face-to-face with someone and sign some of these very critical documents in order to move them out of a financial hardship. So really working with them, understanding what the constraints are, bringing some of those things back, as Bill mentioned, under his umbrella is servicing policy. We're bringing the needs of our servicers back to our policy teams. They're working to readdress some of those things for policy purposes, working with our technology partners as we continue to expand on tools like Resolve and Paid and Total MI to really enhance the experience that we provide to servicers that they then in turn pass down to homeowners.
Hey, Donna, that's great. Thank you. David, maybe if I come back to you for a moment, one of the other pillars to make, any platform that we offer successful, is going to rely on our employees, getting this done at the point of contact with our homeowners every day. Do you want to maybe talk a little bit about how, U.S. Bank focuses on employees and engagement and your entire model in that space?
Happy to, Dave. And, I'm really glad you brought up, our employees, because all of us are really hyper-focused. As LaQuanda mentioned, not only are our customer segments requiring something a little bit different, but also our employee base as well. So we've been really hyper-focused on engagement. It used to be you'd look at your results, you'd look at quality and defect rates, but employee engagement scores are just as equally important as anything else in our industry right now. So, we're trying to work with them and engage them in a number of different ways, whether, we're all looking at work models, we're all looking at locations and where work gets done and how it gets done, but really, really focused on, the engagement level with our employees. And we're finding the more that we do invest in this space, the returns are just excellent in terms of lower attrition, better performance. So I think there's been a real education in our industry just to realize how important that engagement and making sure our employees have all of the tools and training at their disposal, really is to the customer experience.
Hey, David, that's great. So back to, Bill, I will tell you, as an operations guy here at Freddie, just like having the chance to listen to folks like LaQuanda and David, I'm a little jealous of the role that you have talking to, industry leaders every day, if I'm being honest. Anything else you'd like to maybe circle back to and touch on before we wrap this up today?
Yeah, thanks, Dave. What I'm taking out of this discussion we're having here today, and I heard it, all the panelists talk to this in some way, it's the word passion, and the passion that I've been in this industry for over 35 years. And, that passion that the folks in our industry has not subsided in those 35 years. And I think they're strong today as it's ever been. And how does that passion manifest itself, right? It manifests itself in small things like Dave and LaQuanda both touched on, being able to connect with the borrower whenever and wherever they want, whether that's picking up a phone or giving them the ability to self-serve on their websites. They have a passion for that, right? Donna talked about education and educating educating the industry and educating homeowners. She has a real passion for that. So, and they're small things, as I talk to more and more folks in the industry. There's a lot of big things that folks have passions about, like solving equity or inequity in the housing market, being on the forefront of the impact climate change will have on the industry. There are big things that a lot of people have passion about. And to your point, Dave, what I have a passion about is I have that ability to talk to all of our servicers every day. I get up every morning and I talk to servicers every day. And that allows Freddie Mac to be proactive in terms of solving the challenges that are going to be in front of us in the future, because we will have challenges. Challenges never go away. It's how you attack it. And we always want to be proactive in that regard versus reactive. So I would just summarize, the future of servicing as being one where, we continue to continue to accelerate that passion that we all have to make for a better ecosystem, not only for ourselves, but for the borrowers that we serve.
Thanks again, Bill. That was a really great job of pulling this all together for us. Well, unfortunately, we're just about out of time here today. I'd like to thank all of our panelists for joining us and thank everyone else who's been listening into us today. As we close, I encourage everyone to attend our other servicing sessions, where you'll get more detail on some of the topics that we covered today, including servicing policy, loss mitigation, and technology solutions. I look forward to working with all of you as we move forward together. Enjoy the rest of the conference. I'll pass this over now to our event host who can close this out for us.
Thank you, Dave. And thank you to our esteemed panelists for joining us today. Attendees, your opinion is important to us. Please take a few moments to take our brief survey so that we can continue to bring you timely and relevant content. The presentation deck will be sent to you following the session. You can also log in anytime after the conference to play back this or any other session. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference.